The most important week for founders and entrepreneurs in the next 2 years is now. So if you've been feeling pressured or pressure to move lately, an itch that you can't explain, there's something that you need to launch or get locked in on, congratulations, your intuition is still working and you received the signal before the headline. This week, the week building up to Sunday, the 19th of April, carries exactly the same astrology as April 1998, the moment that Netflix.com was launched. So if you are working on something innovative that you want to go the distance, pay attention. Because whatever you start or make tangible now in this timing window, you also get to ride on a wave of momentum that gives you a structural advantage over the ones who do not. So on Sunday, the 19th of April, there is an astrological event that happens only once every 2 years. It is, in my opinion, the single most powerful window for taking committed, structured action on a long-term vision. And I'm about to walk you through what is happening, how to use it to supercharge your chance of success over the next 2-year period, as well as 4 ways that I have used this exact transit in my own businesses over the past 8 years. If we've not met, my name is Imogen. I am a timing strategist and business astrologer who has used techniques like these to build 6 companies of my own, as well as advise some of your favorite brands privately. So let's start with what is happening. On April the 19th, the planet Mars meets Saturn in the constellation of Aries. So from Earth, it looks like these two bodies are on top of one another and their energies merge. This is a 1 + 1 = 3 effect. And they are not alone. There are now 7 planets congregating in Aries. And the last time that happened was 1821, the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the year of the first railway, the electric motor. And the last time that Mars and Saturn conjoined in Aries was April 1998, that week that Netflix.com launched. So we are in the middle of a pretty consequential timing window that we will not get again. Energy has been building since April 9th when Mars entered Aries from this constellation of Pisces. And this energy is going to peak on Sunday the 19th and linger until about May 4th. But the days before and during are the absolute most potent for you to use. So the archetypes of Mars, the archetype of Mars is passion, drive, speed, assertion. And Saturn represents long-term structure, ambition, and tangible rewards, and also the time it takes to reap those rewards. Saturn is responsibility, and it's about healthy limits. Now, Saturn is also much slower moving than Mars. It takes about 36 years to move through the zodiac. Mars takes 2. So Saturn is being visited by fiery Mars. And one way to think about how to use this is, here is your chance to speed up a process or an action that normally takes longer in a way that seems to defy limits. Especially if what you are trying to bring to life right now through your company or your work or your art is big, it is complicated, and it's going to take several years to accomplish. And also with the Saturn energy, here is your chance to put responsible, well-structured form to a passionate idea that you are carrying in a way that's way more likely to have it go the distance. Because when Mars and Saturn collaborate, what you are working on stops being an idea and actually becomes real. So whatever you commit to now with tangible action and a structured plan and some seriousness really has the chance to unfold favorably across the next 2 years and beyond. Now, this conjunction, this meeting of the planets is happening in Aries, the sign of the warrior, and the patron saint of sport and startups. So really the motto of this conjunction is fortune favors the bold. Mars is demanding that you make the first move, and Saturn is asking for accountability. Show me the month-by-month plan. Show me the profit margin. Where are your customers coming from? So any compression sensation that you might be feeling right now, this tug, this rising heat, that is not resistance. It is not noise. That is the signal. This conjunction is a forge that separates the dreamers from the builders. What you are working on now and how you work on it in this window is going to get to be infused with this extra powerful energy. So choose how you use your time wisely this week. Yes, do sign on the dotted line. Yes, start the build, hire the developer, post the video, call the meeting. There is really no time like now to commit to your long-term vision and whatever projects that get you there. So while everyone else is focused on Q2 and the rest of 2026, let this be the week that stretches you into 2028 and beyond. Now, here are 4 ways that I have used this Mars-Saturn conjunction over the last 8 years. So the first time I used it was April 2018. That was the day that I applied to file to incorporate my 3rd business. And that business made £60,000 in the first few months. I had to hire lots of freelancers to help me deliver the work. That's a really good example of how timelines got really shortened in that Mars-Saturn energy. The second time was in March 2020. And I had spent most of 2019 running a campaign called 2020 Vision for entrepreneurs on building out the next decade. And when this conjunction hit, we were in full lockdown. And I, like everyone else, was really struggling to know how to approach this in my business. And I just got this surge of energy, and I wrote an email to my list. I sent a broadcast to all of my clients, and I basically said, I am not giving up on us. I will do whatever it takes to figure out a way to help you all make sure that your business doesn't just survive, but thrive in this year. And I did just that. And that year, 2020, changed my landscape of client relationships, my network forever. 2022, I was joining forces with another educational entrepreneur. On that exact date of the Mars-Saturn conjunction, we launched the first of a series of products. Those products made us $1.1 million over the next 9 months. And in April 2024, the last time this came around, I committed to not 1, 2, but 3 5-figure contracts with people that I wanted to lock in to build my startup with me. And I wanted to make it real. I wanted to make it count. I wanted to go the distance with these people. Every single time that I moved for this conjunction, I was already in the timing window when I made the move. So that is not luck. None of that was luck. That is timing strategy. So here's how you can use it for yourself. Okay, I want you to picture 2 dudes sitting across each other at a table, right? Mars is the founder. He wants to move fast, break things, wants to win, like really runs hot and is just pure enthusiasm. Saturn is here to poke a hole in that enthusiasm. Saturn is the older mentor. Saturn is the one that's like built multiple companies and has no time for your BS. Saturn's a bit grouchy. It's really like the archetype of constructive criticism. Saturn is going like, okay, how are you managing your limited resources? Show me the month-by-month breakdown. Some people, astrologers, describe this transit as driving with the handbrake on. And I find that framing really quite unhelpful, especially in business, because the truth is that as founders, often we are rushing off without any real direction, without real strategy, and without patience. I'm seeing this dynamic everywhere right now about AI, just so much reacting and rushing to adopt this tool or that tool, instead of seeing the opportunity to architect an amazing system of infrastructure for whatever you're building. And I would not be surprised if this Mars-Saturn conjunction is going to bring some Saturnian news about AI to light, pulling focus on what actually needs to happen for this technology to be useful, safe, and profitable in the long term. So to me, Saturn is not a handbrake. Saturn is the architect. Mars without Saturn is just wasted energy. And Saturn without Mars often never leaves the drawing board out of fear. So the founders and the builders who use this window to bring both together to create real alchemy, they are not, the ones who win are not going to be the ones who are the fastest. The ones who win long term are the ones who will prepared that urgency with a plan. So if we were working together with me as your timing strategist, you would have had many, many months advanced warning about this precise this transition and the precise areas of your chart or your business's chart that this is putting a lot of energy into, so that you would know exactly how to work with this with surgical precision. But if we're not working together and you're watching this, know that over the next 4 days, as we build towards the peak on Sunday the 19th, you can work with this for sure. Carve out some time to apply this to whatever you're working on, envisaging, strategizing, or even launching already, that you want to last at least the next 2 years. This conjunction is going to be the most intense on Sunday the 19th. And then there's going to be a bit of a halo effect until May the 4th, when they fully separate. Now, the thing about working with really powerful energies like this is that they can be used for both creation and destruction. Mars and Saturn in Aries makes a big impact everywhere. Aries is the sign of war, after all, and traditional astrologers who use predictive astrology to imagine what's going to happen in the world, they are all saying right now, brace yourselves, lie low, there's going to be some kind of clash, there may even be an energy lockdown, and maybe that is true. Difficult and tragic things will happen in the world, and we as entrepreneurs, we have to take care of what is ours to take care of. And we have to remember that our role as founders and builders is to create and distribute solutions for the biggest problems of the moment. Our craft is alchemy. You are combining elements that don't belong together or don't necessarily go that well together, like Mars and Saturn, or websites and cinema, like Netflix did, to forge a new element that has never existed before. That is our job. So remember, I want you to remember that no matter what happens this week, there is such a powerful mindset shift available to you from, oh, this is happening to me and my company, to, whoa, there is so much intense energy and things are happening to the world, and I am going to use everything at my disposal to ensure that our company, our mission is happening to the world. The 1998 Mars-Saturn conjunction in Aries did not make Netflix inevitable, but somebody moved on the right idea at the right time with enough structure to have it be able to prevail over decades. And that is what this window is for. Your version of that story, whatever that looks like, starts this week. Please use it well.